Hello everyone, my name is Rajesh Kumar and I'm your DevOps SRE DevSecOps coach. So today I'll be discussing about the authentication options with Vault. So primarily there are three topics in Vault we have. One is various authentication options. Second one is the place where we store the secrets, secret engine. And then third, which is we call it policies. Okay, and then fourth audit, that is a fourth option. So as part of this session, we'll discuss about the authentication method, selecting the right method, configuring an auth method, using an auth method. So these are the four things we'll do that. So authentication method overview. So look at this. Um these are the options available. Few more will be there. So these are the options available. Using that, you can authenticate to Vault. Okay. So here left side, whatever you see, it's a authentication method. Right side, what you see is a secret engine supported. Secret engine means where you can store the secrets. So different options are available, including databases also, Azure also, AWS, key and value and many things. So key and value is a built-in. So and how is been governed all the access through policies. Okay, so look at this. So some of the fundamental authentication option is like a token or password passkey. That means password based authentications or role based authentications. So these are the fundamental inbuilt options, but you can integrate with anything which you want. So what is authentication method? So some of the authentication methods we have built in, but all this is in form of plugin. So what is a plugin means? Any idea? Plugin means?
It's act like a medium between the two different components.
Yeah. So plugin means any of this feature you want, install it. You don't want, don't install it. Simple. Enable it. I mean, plugin means any of these systems. I mean, any of this authentication method you want, you can enable the plugin. And if you don't want, not enable the plugin. That is something like this. Okay. So provided by plugins, that means anything can be enabled or disabled. All authentication method except the built-in. Multiple methods are allowed. That means it's not only one or two you can use it. If you want to use all of this, it's possible. References external sources like LDAP, GitHub, IAMs and all. User pass and app role are internal. Thus, as I said, user pass means see token is enabled by default and it's built in. The one which we tried last time. But user pass means password based and the role based are internal. Now token methods are enabled by default, the one which we logged in last time token for the user. So by default, when you start the Vault server, it was coming with the root token, but user token is also possible. Mounted on the path auths. That means whatever the authentication method you have, it's get mounted at the look API path, which is /auth and used to obtain a token. So that is options. So authentication based method categories. So these are the categories available. Cloud providers, cloud native, traditional, vault native. Vault native means it's inbuilt default to the vault like a token, user pass, app role. Now traditional you can go for it LDAP. Cloud native again depends on the your use cases. Kubernetes there. Cloud providers like AWS, Azure, GCP. Okay, so choosing an auth method. So how can you decide which method is good for you? So all this depends on your um, you know requirement. So who's going to access the vault? You can take this into consideration. How are they going to access it? What do they use today and stuff like that? So based on this, you can decide. So there is one option which is you have a username and password, which was core to the vault. So it is meant for the password base, always meant for the human operators, and including the compose of username and password. Role method, app role method. Here you can create a role and assign app access. So role method is good for machines and applications. Used for machines and application means if you have some automation scripting or some applications where you want to use it, then role method is good. So roles method consists of role ID and secret ID. Okay. So you'll have a role ID and secret ID, and push or pull for secret ID is possible from the vault. I'll just show you that through the demo also. Okay, so scenarios. So one of the scenarios, this will help you to decide which method is good for you or not. So scenario, developers need to access secret for AWS. In AWS access secret, they need to access it. There is one company, Glomantics, has Active Directory for all the internal users. So LDAP is already, Active Directory is already there for all the users. All developers have a GitHub account also, and contract developers do not have AD account. So in this situation, what is the best authentication method for you? So enable the GitHub authentication, because all developers, you have a GitHub account, and contractors not having AD. So don't go for LDAP, go for GitHub. Enable the GitHub authentication method. Have a developer generate a personal authentication token. So that's one of the scenarios. Let's discuss one more use cases. Several servers running on-prem need to access secret. Okay, servers. This is the application. Remember, servers. Servers are not member of AD domain. Authentication must not require prompt, and all servers are on the same IP address subnet. So what is the best solution for it? App role authentication method, which is can be used for the script or applications. So enable app role authentication method, generate a role ID and secret ID. So role ID for each group of the server, and constrain the secret ID by the CIDR address. You can do that. That means when you generate a secret ID, the secret ID will work only from the CIDR, will work only from the IP address range, which is of your subnet. So that's the second scenario. Okay, so authentication method uses. So all methods are enabled on sysauth. Methods are enabled on a path default to method name. That means sysauth and password based slash password slash role based, like that. Methods cannot be moved. Methods can be tuned and configured. Tuned settings are common for all methods. Configurations settings are specific to a method. Okay, so now let's work on it, and let me show you the demo for this. So I'll go to C drive and tools.
Uh, Raj, I have a quick question. So what is this CIDR and role ID means?
Uh, CIDR is basically IP range for network. In this context, I was discussing subnet. When you create a VPC, then you specify CIDR range, IP address range, for like how many IPs will be there in the network. Okay, so so role basically is for applications. It's ideal situation applications. So applications is running in, let's say, 10.5.2.2.2. So if you want to access application, want to access vault for secret. Okay, so in this case, and it should be non-promptive. So password is not a good solution. So here you can use a role ID, you can give it, and secret ID you can give it, and this secret ID you will work only from these machines, specifying the CIDR during creation of secret ID. Got it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is my vault, and let me show you a demo. So let me start it one more time. Dev PowerShell I'm using now. So first thing, I'm starting the server, which is nothing great. You know that last time also we did it. Done. So this is needed. I'll just copy it. Here it is. After that, I'm going to open up a new console. This is occupied. So PowerShell again. Last time I worked with the command line. So remember that. Now I'm going to set this, and after that I'm going to log in. So already is there. So copy, paste it. Done. Now I'm going to log in. Default is root. So token. So just a second. Huh. So token is here. Copy, paste, enter. Success is there. So that is done. Now if you want to see the list of auth list, you can check this out. Copy, paste it. So these are the auth lists. Whichever you have enabled at a sysauth, you will see that. So right now you see that only token is available. Okay, this was a default one. So that is stuff. Now what I will do, I will help you to access the browser also, and through that one also I'll show you. So give the token through and sign in. Now all the auth is available at here. See token. So either you do through command line just like this, or you use like this. Are you understanding, all of you? Hello.
Uh, a bit confusing, but yeah, we're trying.
Okay. So uh, confusing. Okay, I'll put it in this way. You have one software. Okay, think in very simple way. You have a software, and in this software, this person will log in. So which are the way you log in? So one is this guy can use it token. So this method is enabled where? So this is the token method is enabled. See, allowed authentication method. Authentication means how to log into the server. So token is there. But then we say, hey, we have application. So how this guy should log in? So for that we have a role app. Now then there is a one person. They say token is not allowed. I will not use token. So he will use user ID and password. Then you have, let's say, person, and you have not given access any of these three, but he has a GitHub access. So GitHub token can be supported. So using GitHub authentication method. If you have access to GitHub certain accounts, you can access this. So these are the options, authentication options are there. This was inbuilt, this and this we will enable it. Based on the requirement, you can enable others also. So right now, only one thing which is enabled, token. Using command line, I'm just listing out the token. Make sense?
Yeah.
That's all. Authentication method. That means we are playing with authentication method. No secret, no key, no storage, only authentication method. Means how a person or software or script can log into Vault. That one. Okay, so now in that context, let me close view. Okay, so this is the one. So I list out. Now, how can I enable this another authentication method? Means user pass. That means password based authentication method. So just you need to run this command to enable the authentication method. So now you see here, enable user pass means password based. Done. Now list. See here. Now we enable password based also. Okay. Now if you see that website, refresh. See, password based has come. So this is how you enabled one password based authentications and then you got it. Now what I will do, I will enable the role based. So role based I'll do through UI. So click on enable auth method. So which one you want? These are the plugins available. Whichever you want, you can use it. So role based is somewhere here. Sorry. So these are the cloud based, these are the infra based, this is the role based. So I'm enabling next. What is the name? Let it be that one. And enable method. These are the, if you want to change this later on, we'll decide. Update. Done. Now if I show you through command, see here all three. So this is the way command line and this is the way through UI you can enable the authentication method. Are you understanding all of you?
Yeah.
All of, hello?
Yeah. I understand.
Yeah. So now one thing we missed out, putting some descriptions. For example, if you see that this one we did not give it, this one. So you can feed that one using command line, yeah, like this. So vault auth tune description and whatever the descriptions you want to give it, for which authentication method, user pass. And here the name has to change because I did not use this one, I use something else. So let me change this one, this was as it is. Done. And now this one also, I need to change this role name, app role. Done.
So Raj, I have a
And
quick question. So this is, we are just enabling this authentication type to the vault, but we
yes,
haven't integrated that type, right? We are yet to.
we, yeah, we are just enabling the authentication method. So initially it was token, now we user pass and app role based. All three internals which is supported, I enabled it. So now you can refresh this and check this. See here. That means all three is available for you now. Got it, all of you?
Yeah.
All of you? So now when we enable auth pass, which is user pass, so now I have to create one user and one password that I need to do. So I can use it this authentication method. So now how do we do that? So all these commands and help file you will find under this option. Okay, this is the API path, auth, user pass, and this command to find out all the option available under the user pass. So copy this. This is the help file sort of it. And you see here, user pass. You can create a user. You can set a password. All this thing. How can you do that? What are the options available? See here. So you can here you can list the user, manage users allowed for authenticate, reset user password, using that you can do, update the policy associated with username, and manage users allowed to authenticate, login with username and password. So this API you have to use, login. So these are the APIs available for us. Okay, now at the users which is available, look for this also, just for getting comfortable. Oops, wrong copy paste. Enter. And you see here, you matching users, you can create a user, add, read user, update user, delete user, all this thing you can do that. So this API you can use for all this stuff. Okay, so now what I'm going to and if you want more help just like that, you can put user's name, whatever it is, you can get it done. So now what I'm going to do, so here vault write API users, and here this will be your username. Okay, and then password is tacos. So I'm creating here one user and one password for that user, tacos. So let me copy this, enter. So here I created one user. Now this is something which you can check, done. Now using UI, I'm creating one role also. Okay, so if you want to check what are the options available for this, so app role. So app role ID, app role ID and secret ID is needed. So see here, many options are available here. So you see here, this is for this, this is for, so all APIs you will have it for work with it. Okay, lots of things you have it. So this is the way you can see the help. Now, if you want to see the help for some other role ID which you created, so app role, it should be here, app role and the name of the role. So how do we create a role? Using command line. You can create it through the UI also, and you can do through command line also. Okay, so now let's create this one. So this command will create a one role named with web app. Okay, this has to be change minded, not running blindly. And here you are saying secret ID num uses means how many times you can use this one? Only one time. So this role will work only for one time. And what is the durations which this role will be active? 2 hours. So you can go for this here and see here. These are the authentication method, app role, user pass. Okay. And here you see I created user. You can create a more user, Rajesh, password, Rajesh123, save it, and then back, back to method. Here you can create a role also. So right now there is no role actually. So you can create a more role also and so on. Are you understanding all of you? Hello? Hello?
Yeah, yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Okay. Now if you see that little bit Rajesh here, I mean sorry, user pass here, I can create a user through UI. But if I look at this app role, they are not allowing you to create app role through UI. So they have given it also. The Vault UI only support configuration for authentication method. So for manage API and CLI should be used. So this app role will not be allowed. So you have to create through command line only. So let's look at this. I'm creating one app role. Not sure why is copy paste is not happening. So I will change this. My authentication method role based is app role itself. App role. So here I'm creating one role named with web app at this address. One time it can be used. 2 hours it can be active. Enter. So here is created role web app. Refresh. And see here. Now you can see that uh, it's not coming here. No. So this UI is not supported for app role, but user pass supported. So you can check using which are the app role through command line only. So now this is done. So what I did, nothing great. Let me show you. First part, I enable the two authentication method, user pass based and role based. Okay. Second, I created one user which is called Ned and tacos. password with tacos. And then I created one role, web app, with certain constraint. That's all. Now I'm going to test my user name and password is working or not. And then also I'm going to test my role is working or not. That's all. Are you comfortable, all of you?
Uh, yes, Rajesh. So, Rajesh, creating that new role by using CLI, can you explain that command exactly?
So here write means create or update. What is the API for this? So API for this is this one, auth app role. This should be the name which you created. So mine is app role. Then what you want to create role, name of the role, API endpoint of this role, web app, and name of the role, this one. And these are the parameters which I explained. If you have a more options to know that, you can use like this. For example, copy this, and here my app method is app role. So all the options which you have at the role side, you can get it here. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's try. So I need a new PowerShell, and this PowerShell I'm going to set up my server, which is here. Copy. This is the client. Enter. And now I'm going to log in using Ned. Okay, username Ned. Remember. So here, this is how you log in. Vault login. Method user pass. Username Ned. Enter. So tacos is a password. TACOS. Tacos. See success. So this is how you log in and you can do the further operations. So that is tested. Now, if you want to know all the options available at the login, uh, this command can be useful for you. So here I'll just change this app role, and for login, what are the options available? You have all options here. 500 error. So uh, auth app role command seems to be good, but it's saying, let me see at auth what we have. Auth app role. What is app role? App role space. Uh, Let me check if it's running or not. Yeah, it's running. So I need to update this. Uh, no, this is not correct, but we'll try. Let me try older one. Okay, just a second, hold on. I think command is correct. Okay, command is correct. The reason is so in order to mind it, I have just logged in as a, see here, the command is correct. So I have logged in as a which user here?
Yeah.
Nud. So Nud is added as a user, but there is no access given to this guy. So he can log in, but he cannot do anything right now because access will be given from policy, and that is we have not done. So that's the reason. Yeah. So you can check this command and visualize like okay, we don't have access or something like that. Okay, so now how do we access using uh, um, secret role ID and all? So for that we have to use a role ID. So let me get the role ID. So what was the role ID created? I forgot. So web app only. So role web app. So I'll go back to this one, this which is logged in as a root. Okay. So first thing, this need to change app role and get it the role ID. So your login, permission denied. So permission denied. Uh, uh, this is a new session. Okay, let me log in using one more time. Vault login and enter. Done. Okay, so now I'm going to check this role ID. Now one more thing I just want, vault lab. Hmm. So here this command should work. Same command, permission denied last time because of some reason. Okay, so now you got it. Now this rule ID is very important. Keep it. This is the rule ID. Now what you need to do, you need to set you need to set this one in PowerShell. So role ID will become this one. You can pass using command line also. So I set the one environment variable here, clear the screen, enter. Now next one, you have to set the secret ID also. So can you get the secret ID? So secret ID you have to generate it, okay? So So secret ID, this is the app role. This command will generate a secret ID for this role. Okay, remember that. So secret ID we generated. So now this is the secret ID. Mind it, it can be used only once and only 2 hours. After that it will get expired. So what I'll do, I'll just set one environment variable, secret ID. You can use on the command line also, and set the secret ID. So guys, I set the role ID, I set the secret ID. How can you log in? So this is the command to log in using role. So here my role name is app role. I mean method, app authentication method is app role. Login, that's API. Role ID I set here, secret ID I set here. Now let me do that and enter. Success. So now you got this access through the role ID also. So this is the command line. Now if you are trying to API request, then you have to provide this in a JSON format and then invoke this API call actually. So how can you disable the authentication method? So this command you can use for disabling the authentication method. And name of is app role. Wrong command, I pass this dot, it will not work. So guys, what we did, we understand that first pillar of Vault, that is called authentication method. We discussed multiple authentication methods are there, but three which is in internal to Vault, user pass and app role. We enabled it first, then you twinned it, then second, third we create a user for user pass, role for role role, app role, and then we try using login. Authentications you don't have right now, I mean access authorization you don't have, so you cannot do anything. But next topic will be authorizations. Did you understand that, all of you?
Have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopsschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video.
Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest.
Thanks for watching.